This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, but rocking a beautiful Toronto background behind me. A couple of weeks ago, I just got back from Frightmare in the Falls and Niagara Falls and spent a week in Toronto finishing out my vacation. But now I'm back in the real world here in New Brunswick. And, I get to pause every now and again and have some fun, like doing this podcast. And you know what? Today we are celebrating the 15th anniversary of a film I saw in theaters. Yes, The Social
Oh, there
Network.
it is.
Yes. I am a big fan of David Fincher, and I like a lot of his films. Very few I would have any issues with, but I gotta say, The Social Network may be his crowning achievement and quite different for him. And folks, I have one of the cast members on the show today. Yes, she was grilling Jesse Eisenberg, aka Zuckerberg, during those boardroom hearings. Folks, I give you the lovely and absolutely beautiful Denise Grayson. How do you do, Denise?
Oh, hi, Greg. Thank you. You're very generous. Thank you. Hi.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I gotta say this. Every time I watch those boardroom scenes, I'm like, and this was one of the when I was looking up when I wanted to celebrate this, one of the questions I asked, and I mean this as a compliment. I was like, "Who is the beautiful blonde in the, the boardroom
Oh,
scene?"
well, I'm not mad at you for that. So thank you. 15 years can be brutal on someone. So thank you.
Well, yeah, I was like, who's this woman? So I looked you up in
Oh,
the film,
mm,
and here we are. So there you go. You still got it. How's that?
well, thank you. Thank you, Greg. Many
You're
thanks.
you're very, very welcome. Before we get talking about the social network and Strange Darlings and some of these other projects, I'd like to get a little bit of your background and what got you into the business.
Sure.
Hmm.
Ask away or I'll happily start. I think I always wanted to have a creative life, and nobody always says, go ahead, you can do that. You think about doing other things. And as a kid, I was so shy, but I always had the lead in my school plays and an only child. And um, I guess I just ultimately at one point started studying acting after I had studied other things. I was fortunate enough to go to school and do some other stuff as well. And I started studying acting and I couldn't stop. So,
And you kept going ever since.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did you have any influences growing up, like any actors that you would watch and like, I kind of want to take a little bit of that or take a little bit of that from this person? Is there anybody that was
Um,
an influence?
I did, but the first when you first said any influences, I really have to say I thought about my family. Both of my parents are and were artists, and they didn't take it fully to its my mom a wonderful painter and sculptor, but also a teacher, and my dad a musician and a performer and a teacher. But I just went to school not for art initially. And then I started saying, but yeah, I loved, oh my goodness. I mean, I still watch her sometimes. I can't help myself, like Lucille Ball.
You know what? I had Jeffrey Mark on here, and
Hmm.
Jeffrey Mark not only wrote a biography on Lucille Ball, but he knew her personally and is still
Ah,
connected with the family of members of the cast. And
hmm.
Jeffrey Mark has come on here for a few tribute interviews of people he knew, but the first one was Lucille Ball.
Interesting. I
And
don't know what made me say that. It's not it. I don't know. She just popped into my mind this moment, so maybe I sensed that. I don't know,
well,
but
it's a good choice.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love humor and I like to think I'm funny. I've been told I'm funny. One of my pals who's a TV producer and one of the funniest guys I know in Hollywood. It was just my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and when he wrote his text, one of the things he said was funny, describing me, and I was like, Todd thinks I'm funny. That means I'm funny. So I think, I don't know, she just came to mind, and not only funny, a great actress and an all around talent. She could dance and sing everything. Yeah, and I watched her a lot as a child, actually, I think. Yeah.
I think that's
With my
amazing.
parents. Yeah.
There
And
you
so many,
go.
so many other people. And then you get lucky enough, if you're older and you start to meet some of these people. I didn't meet her, but other people and on TV shows who you watched as a child, and you see they're regular now. Just like, we all are. But back then, I would
Anybody
watch their
in
I would watch
particular?
their I think I would watch their behavior, though, and that's what an actor does.
What's that?
So I would watch their behavior
Yeah.
on television. I mean, television isn't even a word anymore. But I would watch TV with my parents, and I would always watch their behavior. I would watch people on the street also. So I think I always, even though I didn't give myself permission to do this immediately, I always wanted to do this.
There you go. There you go. Well, you got a long resume, but I gotta say, the social network, like I said, I can't believe you said in your email response to me, it's hard to believe it's been 15 years. And I'm like, yeah, where does the time go? Because I sat in a theater and I saw this film,
Mm.
and I gotta say, I like David Fincher all around, like there's very few films that he's done that I can't even think one even off the top of my head that I didn't like. I
Oh,
got a
he's
lot
the
of,
best.
yeah,
Yeah, big,
like,
big fan.
oh, he's done so many great movies. And
Mhm.
I mean, the year after this, he did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and that was fantastic. But even before this, he was doing some great work, still doing great work. But
Yes.
this was kind of different in his filmography, It wasn't the thriller type movies you're so used to seeing out of him, but it did kind of have a dark tone. And what I liked about it is I love it when the movie starts. The music and how everything is going on and the buses are going and the students and whatnot and the shots of the canvas and stuff. And it ties together with this, should I say, hauntingly inviting music, if that sounds correct.
Trent
But
Reznor and Atticus Ross.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
yes, glad you said their names because their names were on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, the music throughout this film, but boy, does it ever bring you in to
Mhm.
the students arriving on campus and their lifestyles and them at the pubs and them coursing with each other and all of this, the busyness of campus life. And I love that, And then, of course,
Very
I,
exciting movie making.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when I first joined Facebook. I really wasn't really on social media for anything, really. It was somebody at the
Nor was
bank.
I.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I was at the bank doing a deposit or something there, and somebody who knew I reviewed movies and whatnot had mentioned Facebook. I didn't know anything about it, and I remember her name was Bobby Joe, and she's not there anymore, but she was the one that sent me the email link for Facebook, and I just kind of looked into it, and it was like, this is interesting, and now Facebook and Twitter or now X and all that stuff, Instagram seems to be like a daily thing for everybody. And I mainly use it now to communicate for people to come on my show because you get caught up with a lot of gossip if you don't. But do you remember? I don't know. Maybe I don't know whether you're on Facebook. I haven't looked, but if you are on Facebook, was it before or after this film?
So, yes, I am on Facebook.
Hmm.
I'm not a big poster, but I might be a peeker. So I do use it a little bit more now than ever before, even though sometimes I think I should not. Um, so I was not on Facebook when I didn't know anything about it. And I remember my first post I ever tried to do, I joined it. I said, they're going to ask me questions, much like you are. And there were lots of screenings, and I'm going to be on a red carpet at the Oscars, and I'm going to the SAG Awards, and I need to know what this is and how it works. So I did join it, and I remember the morning of the Oscars in the bathroom, and I was actually having my hair done at the time, and I decided I'm going to make a post. I think I must have posted it 8 times because I didn't know how to use it. I just wanted to give a tribute to it was an exciting morning, and I think I made a mistake and hit the button too many times. But that was when I first joined, was the day before the movie came out, I think.
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. I joined before. I think it was 2007 or 2008, if I remember correctly. And I thought it was an interesting way to connect with people, and see what's up, and it's um
Yeah. There's two schools of thought. It's a new and a great way of communicating. And then there's the question about, that we all know now, how do we get our information? Is it accurate? And all, you know, I can always see both sides, but I do use it, and I sometimes wonder if what I'm seeing is correct. But it's nice to connect with friends and old friends. And yeah, after I got on there, there were people who showed up I hadn't heard from in quite some time. So it was nice.
there you go. Talk about being cast in the social network and meeting David Fincher.
Mhm. So I first met his terrific, and I'd like to say now my friend Lorraine Mayfield, one of the great casting directors in Hollywood and all around. I was at a party and we were just chatting, and I had no idea. It was actually a party for the night before the Golden Globes. Paramount Pictures was sponsoring the party, and
Mhm.
David was there. It was The Curious Case of Benjamin Button was being celebrated.
I remember that. Yeah.
I love another film I love of his.
Mhm.
I was going through them in my mind as you were talking about them. Don't forget Zodiac. That may have been my favorite
Zodiac.
until the Social Network.
I saw the Zodiac in the theater as well. I go way back with him with
Yeah.
I didn't see Alien 3 in the theater, but I did,
Hmm.
Seven and The Game and
Hmm.
going with just moving up Fight Club,
Ah, another great one.
yeah, I seen all of these in the theater, and
Yeah. So I was uh at this party, and this woman, nice woman, came over to me, and she looked lovely, and I was happy that someone came over to chat with me, and she asked me if I was an actress, and I was almost embarrassed to say yes at that moment. I had been working. I just finished a scene in a Hallmark movie. Uh Opposite, I can't even remember now who it was, but like one of the Rat Pack girl women.
okay.
And I shot it up, I think, in San Francisco, and I told her about that. And she was, yeah, I was just asking questions, and I gave her a little bit, and she said, "Oh, I'm a casting director." And I was like, "Oh, bingo." So that's how we met. And but it was way later that, and I wanted to meet with her. Something about it said I should try to get together with her, and I tried, and she kept answering my calls, and we kept having to postpone, and it took like 9 months, really, or well, maybe 9 months till the Social Network, but a number of months till I got in her office. I said, "Would you like to have a coffee?" I thought maybe she'd know a bit more about me. It's always nice to know people, and I thought maybe she'd have an indie film she'd want to cast me in. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then the first time this is how long ago it was. I never used to go through my trash in my mailbox. The one day I went through my trash, she was in it 2 hours before. Call my assistant if you'd like to read for this role. And it was just Gretchen, you know, lawyer. And I said, of course. I was all excited, no clue what it was. I didn't even know what it was the first time I went in for my first audition. I had side. Are you familiar sides or what we actors get? They're the lines that you have to prepare, and they were sides from Aaron Sorkin TV shows.
Okay.
The West Wing and Studio 60 Live on the Sunset Strip. So that's what I prepared for my first time. But then there was a lot more. Then I got the sides for the movie and they kept dropping it. It took a couple months, about 4 tests, and it was an exciting process. I remember I did run out to the bookstore at the Grove in Los Angeles, the Barnes and Noble, because I realized I kind of put it all together. I did a little bit of like my research and I figured out it was based on the book The Accidental Billionaire. So in the day or two before after the first time I read it and I knew what it was and kind of pieced it together. Who this
There you
character who this character might be. I did all that detective work.
there you go. There you go. No, and of course I saw it in the theater. Now, did you attend the premiere? And if you did, what was that like?
It was thrilling. So it opened the first night of the New York Film Festival that year. That was its premiere. So I got to come home where I am now. I'm in New York now. And I was living predominantly in Los Angeles at the time. And yes, it was at Lincoln Center. And uh, I don't even, yeah, it was kind of nice at Alice Tully Hall. Everybody was there. My mom got to walk the carpet with me. It was lovely.
But your mom won't let you grill her though, right?
What do you mean?
Grill her the way you did Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, there was never any need for that. No. Uh-uh. That was the best compliment I ever got. So I don't we didn't touch on this, but so I didn't act initially. I went to law school and I practiced law and then I started studying acting. And so a lot of people did turn up on social media to find me and reach out. And the first thing they all said was, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't sure it was nothing like you." And I'm like, "I've been telling you for so long, I'm an actor. You need to." So that's not my personality. Is not one of grilling. And I had never really been in a deposition before. That wasn't the kind of work I did. But yeah, no, I don't grill people. I'd have no friends or family if I did.
Well, before social, actually, I should say just overall, other than Social Network, what is your favorite adventure movie?
Um, I think it was Zodiac.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, but that came to mind. That always, when I can remember scenes, I can remember so many scenes of so many of his films, but I can see things in the office there. Also, in an office, it was darker, but right now I'm visual, so in my mind's eye, I can see it. So when something stays like that with me, yeah, the storyline. He's a fantastic movie maker.
Zodiac was very haunting. It's like,
Very.
yeah, yeah. And the way they were piecing that puzzle together, and how it affected the psyche of the three main characters, and who was guilty. Did they get the right person? Did they
Hmm.
not? And and it's like, I'm in a crowd of people, but am I being watched? Does he see me? What's going on? And I enjoyed Zodiac as well. Yeah,
Putting
yeah,
those pieces together. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he kept getting the puzzle pieces and whatnot, and
Hmm.
had to figure it out. I like that and how they all were different, but they all had to come together and try to figure this out. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nicely put. Yeah.
yeah,
Great.
yeah. But Social Network, of course, you're involved in I like to call the current scene because you get all the flashbacks through that. Did you get to meet Mr. Zuckerberg?
No,
No,
no. I don't think anyone did.
no.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's in
But
the
I did
news a
meet
lot.
I'm remembering now, though. I'm remembering that opening night, the premiere, and there was a big party at the Harvard Club in New York after we left Lincoln Center and went over there, and I met like one or two of the real characters were there, like the real Divya Narendra, who was a character in the movie. Like he came
Okay.
over, and it was a pleasure to get to see him. And on social media, he found me on LinkedIn, and on occasion, I might see something he's done and give him a hello and a well done.
Hmm.
Yeah. So no, but no, not Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, going into this role, what were your preparations in playing this character? What did you I know there's some actors they'll create their own backstory or whatever, or sometimes
Completely,
it just
yes.
yeah. What what was it you were going into like in preparing for this role?
Well, initially during the audition process, like I said, I found the source material that it was
Hmm.
based on. But once I had, the most important thing is knowing your words and your lines. And Aaron Sorkin writes the most magnificent dialogue. I think we all could probably agree on that.
Hmm.
So preparation, one of the things that always starts with those words and making them come out, and it's a 162 page script. So we know that most scripts you want a minute a page, and the movie was not that long, couldn't have been that long. So the dialogue was dense. But in preparation, I want to know who she was, and I kind of figured out that she was because some of these are real people. She was a conglomeration of a few people. Oh, hi. Hello, cutie.
Skittles, were you coming over here to
What's your name?
this is Skittles.
Hey, Skittles. Do you like
Skip
Skittles?
I love Skittles. He's a
Besides loving your
rescue.
besides loving him, do you like the candy Skittles? Is that why it's
Oh
his
yeah.
name?
I didn't name him. He was that way when I got him.
Oh,
Black
oh.
and white cat named after a colorful king.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. He doesn't do a very good job at cleaning the apartment though, I'll tell you that. Yeah. He doesn't do a very good job at that. He got his claws on my t-shirt though. There we go.
No, pretty cute.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, Skittles.
Skittles was like, you talk about Zuckerberg and not me. Skittles, it's not all about you. It's not.
It's
You just
not.
he doesn't know that. See, I gotta pay the rent and I gotta do everything else. I can't get him to do anything.
Um,
I woke up, this has been happening recently. When I wake up, my cat, I don't know how he does this, but he'd be up above my head on the pillow,
mhm.
wrapped around the top of my head. And like, how did you do that without waking me up?
You must be a deep sleeper.
I'm something. I have a CPAP machine too, so
Well,
sometimes he'll walk up my chest, and I'll wake up, and he will purr and rub against my CPAP machine. I'm like, Skittles, that's not what that's for. Do you have a kitty?
I don't. I don't.
No.
No.
Yeah, mine's a rescue.
But they're cuties.
Oh yeah. Every time he comes around, I put him on up on camera because I'm like, when he's gone, I'm gonna have these memories. He's about
Yeah.
15 years old, but still pretty active,
Mm-hmm.
especially while I'm sleeping. He's active.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wants the company.
Oh yeah.
Company.
But anyway, you was telling me about the background and
Oh
creating this
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
My
So
apologies for the
no,
interruption.
no, please. It's okay. We're all, that's the thing about the way we can communicate now. There can be so much going on around us and nobody knows.
You know what?
I, I'm looking over there. I see, is it raining? Isn't it raining?
Yeah, I had little Nell on from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and she lives in Australia. And partway through the interview, I could see this tail come across.
um, I was going to tell you there's a great documentary out about the making of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you're a fan, you might enjoy. I'm also on the board of a film festival called the Lighthouse International Film Festival. I apologize for not remembering the title, but look it up. We just did a special screening of that film. I think
Oh
you'll enjoy.
wow.
I'll send it to you.
I've
I think
I've
you'll enjoy
seen it.
it.
Yeah, I've seen that 4 times in theater. I would have been three the year that came out in 1975. But I've had little Nell on, who played what was her name? Wasn't Claudia. She was the one with the red hair and the top hat.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't remember what the name of her character, but I had her on twice, and the second time happened to be on Zoom, and I could hear the birds in the background in Australia. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, I digressed. I apologize.
no problem.
But yes, back to I think you asked me about creating the character.
Yeah,
So yes, you want a backstory. Uh,
yeah.
so I want to know who she is. Where do I live? I'm Gretchen. Where do I come from? Why am I here? Who are these people to me? And for me, I think what I decided was that, this was the case that was really going to help me make partner. This was pivotal in my career. It had to be. And you always want to make the stakes as important as possible as an actor. You've got the stakes have to be high. And if it's the stakes were there, but even if they weren't there, and you make it even more. And I like to make things personal. I even the I'm I was glad I could use it. So I had a pencil there that was very personal that I wanted to use, a ring that was important to me, and what they meant. And you just make yourself that person. I'm thinking about creating a character also. The English actors work sometimes from the outside in, like their clothing is more important, and then they figure it out. I do it the other way. I like to figure it out inside, but clothing was very important. What shoes do I wear? And oh my goodness, I had Giorgio Armani come and clothe me. Not him himself, but his Beverly Hills people came to the trailer to fit me in this. I was wearing clothing that most people can't afford and wouldn't wear. So if she wears this clothing, she's doing okay. So
Well, I would think so. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Also an Academy Award winning costume designer on that. Everyone who worked on that movie was at the top of their game. And it didn't feel that way. It felt so when we were making the movie, it felt very intimate. And but everybody in every department was pretty much the best at what they do.
I'm trying to think what won the Oscar that year. I think it was what was it, The King's Speech?
It was. It was. I
I
mean, The
I
Social Network won some
I
Oscars.
think The Social Network should have won it.
I do too, and a lot of other people are in your court.
Yeah.
It's
Look,
yeah,
like
it's but we're
like
still
King's
talking
Speech.
about it. It's still
Yeah.
on people's top list. It's in the National Registry now, which is very exciting. Um, like the movie of I think the New York Times just put it in the top 10 of the not the decade, the century. A lot of people's top list of that decade. So
Well, it was a very different film. Now, I
very
mean,
different.
people have seen documentaries and docudramas and stuff. This was, and I think a lot of it had to do with the talent behind it. You got
The
Fincher, you got
the
the music, and all even the
the
look of the
editing. I
film.
was I was just at a screening of Catherine Bigelow's new film.
Okay.
Kirk Baxter is the same editor, and I had not seen him. And it was, I got to say hello to him, and I was again glad he recognized me 15 years later. But the editing is Angus, I think it was Angus Wall and Kirk Baxter also. I believe they won the one. It was 8 Oscar nominations. David won the Golden Globe, and Aaron won for best screenplay. And it's but they're different kinds of movies.
Hmm.
It's the old used expression, I guess, apples and oranges.
Hmm.
King's Speech was a terrific movie.
Oh, I
Uh,
agree. Yeah.
Terrific movie, just different.
Hmm.
But to me, The Social Network was wow. What you could
Yeah.
It was wow. And looking back on it, thinking about it, and I did watch it. I think my dad was watching it about a year ago, and
Hmm.
I hadn't seen it, and I was like, holy cow, this really holds up.
What'd your dad think of it?
Oh, well, he would love it if I scratched my nose. There are some movies he likes to watch over and over again. I think that's one of them.
It's an easy movie to watch over and over,
Yeah,
So, yeah, we are still talking about it, and I've heard the argument like, why didn't it win Best Picture? But it did take some of the Oscars, so hey, it didn't
it
go
did.
empty-handed. So, yeah,
It did. It's like any race, it's you got everybody has their own opinion, and how much do you politic and go around and show your wares, and yeah, but it was a fun time. I
there you
wish
go.
one I'd like to wish one of those a year on every actor, including myself. But if you get to do something like that in your career, it's very special.
It is. It is. Talk about Jesse Eisenberg.
What a talent all across the board. And he's a playwright and a producer and a director now, and fine actor and a
Hmm.
lovely and a great guy.
Yeah, I loved watching the back and forth and
Oh yeah.
yeah, like when I look at this now, like I don't know how much in this movie was fiction and how much was fact. But if I'm going by this movie, I'm I'm getting the feeling that Zuckerberg doesn't have a lot of friends, and he doesn't seem to care who he walks over to get where he needs to go. There was a scene in the movie with Andrew Garfield where he says, I was your only friend, you know, and I feel that when I hear that, it's like, wow, it's
I have
it's
a
like,
story about that scene that I've heard. I mean, I was
okay,
there. I was there. And they
okay.
did David Fincher is known for voluminous number of takes. Sometimes I
Hmm.
felt cheated because I didn't have as many as everybody else. I'm sure you know the famous story about that first opening scene that we mentioned earlier. That was 99 takes. That was the most. That was 99 takes, that scene.
Going Kubrick.
But so I think that scene with I Was Your Only Friend was the most. I think we had about 60 takes on that. And I've heard Andrew say that in his conversation with David afterwards, he used the last take on that one because there was so much in there. There was anger, there was disappointment, there was every single emotion like a roller coaster. And I'm sure they were all terrific takes. But when I look at it now, I understand. And of course, I'll digress a second because I show up, and I think all of us show up, and I do a lot of very low budget movies as well. And you're going to get one, you got to get it in one take. It's got to be there. So I know it was, and I was there. It was there all the time, but there was something about the take that they used, and it was all in it. And that you kind of want to have that on the first, and you usually do, but there was a luxury here to really and feel all of that in there. And Andrew, I think, is one of the greats of our generation. He's
Well, he
phenomenal.
became Spider-Man.
Exactly. Spider-Man and everything he does is
I loved him in Hacksaw Ridge.
I love that film, and I loved him in it.
Yeah,
Terrific,
absolutely.
terrific film.
And I know you weren't in this scene, but I gotta bring it up though, because we're talking about the idea that Zuckerberg, having no friend. For a guy that creates stuff on social media, he had a real issue with communicating with people socially. And you got that opening scene, and you got he and Rooney Mara. And Rooney
Terrific.
Mara, yeah, she went on to being the girl with the dragon tattoo Fincher made, and I'm so happy you get to work with her again. I wish they continued that franchise with Fincher and Mara. I don't know what happened there, but nonetheless,
Did you ever watch the original version of it?
yes, I
It's really
did.
good. It's
Oh
terrific
yeah,
also.
they're all good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's
Fincher was just the right guy to do that,
he he sure is.
Yep.
Sure is. But when you mentioned about the friendship though, I and thinking about this movie now as we're chatting, It's about so many things. It's about the beginning of the way we communicate and a whole new world of uh, technology. Meta.
Hmm.
We're calling it Facebook, but it's really the Meta franchise. But
Yep.
it's to me the movie, and I think why it resonates, and it's a movie of its time, and it defines a time, but it's about friendship and betrayal. And I had a friend's child come up to me, really young child at the time. And I think we were dropping him off at school, and he said, my friends were talking about it, and they were very young. And it was maybe the older brother at the time. How much is it worth to betray your friend? They were actually talking about the scene. So, and I think that shows when you say, I was your only friend. Is that the person you want to be?
Yep.
So there were those questions in there as well.
And you look at Rooney Mara in that opening scene where the way he is talking to her and the way that she's taking it in and responding to him. And I love that close up of her when she leans forward and she says, I'm about paraphrase something about him being an asshole, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and I like the
You're
way
going
she
to think
delivered.
it's because girls don't like you because some reason. And she's like,
Yeah,
no, it's because you're an asshole.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Oh, the dialogue is terrific. That shot I remember was great. Um, Jeff Cronenweth was the
hmm
DP. And
hmm
I think I read that he's shooting there's a movie being shot at the moment that Aaron Sorkin wrote and is directing called The Social Reckoning.
yes, there's going to
And
be a follow-up.
I think the same DP is shooting that. He's wonderful. Those shots the whole way. Another interesting thing, you make something and you do your best and you do your preparation, but I didn't know until I went to the cast and crew screening what I would see. I mean, I worked for over a month every day
Hmm.
for billing so many hours a day. But for all I knew, there were a lot of different shots. They come, over your shoulder. I said, they could probably I was careful with my voice. I prepared my sound. I did
Hmm.
a lot of preparation for the work. And I should they could do everything, and you could maybe only see Jesse, and maybe you'll just see the back of my head through the whole movie. You don't know, but all those shots were terrific.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, you get the Parker character played by uh Justin Timberlake. Now, he was not in your scenes, but again, number one,
But
it
I did get to
really.
see him
Oh, did
because I
ya?
think one day when they were must have been that bathroom scene with Dakota Johnson because I was on my way to set and I saw him we said hi, he was in a bathrobe. So I'm assuming it was they maybe were doing a pickup shot or something somewhere else at another time.
Forgot Dakota Johnson was in this. You're right.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. And I remember the scene too, because that is where he discovers
She didn't know he was Sean Parker.
yeah. Wow. And I love that bar scene where the music in the background is so loud and in the background. I actually looked that music up too, and where
That
they're
is a
communicating.
stunning scene. And the
Yeah.
sound work on that, which may have won the sound for sound that year, the sound was extraordinary. And the whole scene,
Hmm.
and it's so real. It's that world that we're in is that really probably was that world.
Hmm.
I feel confident that that's how it would go down.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
there's
that sound I can hear. And there's certain music. I've seen a few movies. I see a lot of movies, but I often hear that score imitated.
yes. Yes.
So it really, yeah, I can tell when you hear that instrumental, whether it's from that scene, that thump thump, that particular electronic sound that they use, or the opening. Yeah.
Now we Army Hammer, of course. I did not know because this is the first time I've seen him. I didn't know he wasn't a twin. I know now, like
Yeah, so And you know the story of how it was shot.
I do.
Yeah.
I they have me
So
convinced, you know.
a lot of that was done in post, but there was always another actor there
Hmm.
who played the other role. And then yeah, and then a lot of excellent work in post.
That was terrific, you know.
Pre
Any
pre AI.
free AI, you know. Any stories about working with him? Because he was in those scenes.
Working with who?
Army Hammer, because he was in
He
the
was, yeah, he was quite lovely. I remember was a big strapping guy eating a lot of peanut butter sandwiches at the craft service table. I try to stay away from the craft service table. Um, yeah, I love all those scenes in retrospect. And yeah, there were two different cases going on, so there was a lot. So he and his brother had a separate case. No, so yeah, we were together in those scenes. But in that at that point, I was doing a lot of my assessing as the character and trying to glean from that what I'd use for my case.
and again, where they said, we brought you in, and of course he says, yeah, but I'm in the bicycle room or whatever. But it's like this thing where Zuckerberg is so smart, so intelligent, and he
Mhm.
weaponizes that against everybody else, you know? And it's like because there comes a point where he's sitting at the computer trying to send a friend's request out to Erica Albright and waiting and waiting and
My
waiting.
gosh, I remember all this now. You're reminding me. Yes, you know, Erica Albright.
Yeah.
Another
I
great
did.
name. Every
Yeah, and it's like you're seeing this all this success and all that he gained. In the end, it's like he's got nobody to share it with, really. I mean, he's sharing it with the whole world, but he's got no personal connections there, or any connection he does have, they're associating with him based on what he's involved with professionally, you know?
that's, I guess, a theme in the film, thinking about it, greed and
Hmm.
what's important at what time of your life also is important. I mean, I couldn't imagine personally. For me, the most important thing are my relationships.
I
So,
agree.
so maybe I'd be more successful if that weren't the case.
Uh,
Probably. Whatever the definition of success is, but that's not my definition.
well, you
So,
had a few I'm trying to stick to the scenes that you're in, but yeah, looking at trying to find the name because the names are on right on the tip of my tongue if I don't. Uh there was an actress that showed up there and she was having some small talk with him and I'm trying to find it.
in our scenes,
Oh yeah, right, Rashida
Rashida played the
Jones.
younger associate on his legal team. She had some great dialogue.
I like that moment where everybody's breaking for lunch and she's just kind of sitting there and she's kind of having a nice dialogue with them there. She offers to share
Mhm.
or salad, you
That
know.
was lovely.
I enjoyed that because there it was like somebody is actually trying to without being forceful, trying to communicate, try to be friendly to this otherwise guy that's got these barriers up.
Well, I wasn't going to be friendly to him. I had my goal. I knew
Oh
what
yeah.
I knew what I needed from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I love those scenes where you're going at him, and
One of the biggest compliments and fun things I remember, and it still happens, people will quote one word that I say. A lot of people love this movie and they see it over and over and over again, and they'll quote my dialogue or how I said something, even just how I expressed the other attorney's name when I was frustrated with Mark, with Jesse.
uh-huh.
So that's a compliment to some great writing. Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you think? 15 years have passed, and this, and I guarantee you, in 5 years, people will be still talking about it. This movie will be talked about for a long, long time, you know?
I'm sure in film schools as well, because
Hmm.
like I said before, the movie making in every department was so excellent. How to tell a story, particularly writing, that you mentioned the jumping back and the timing, almost like that maybe Citizen Kane way of telling a
Love
story.
Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I think it has held up, and I think it will hold up because I think it defines a time in our history and it's world history
Yeah.
now. I mean, it's just a movie, but it's fun and it's historical. It's becoming more historical. Um, and it just defines a time that continues to change, but it was really the beginning of, as you mentioned, how we a new way of communication.
There you go. You get a couple other films here that I definitely want to touch on. One is The Kill Room.
Ah, yes. Great.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you want to know?
I first heard of this film when they announced that Liv Morgan was going to be in it.
They had a lot of interesting people show up on set for that.
Liv
Yeah.
Morgan, of course, is a wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
and I am tickled by her every time she opens her mouth. Like, forget wrestling, I just like hearing her talk. Yeah. But that was when I looked into this movie, and of course, you get a great cast in this movie. You got,
Yeah.
of course, Samuel Jackson and Uma Thurman, of course, after Pulp Fiction,
Mm-hmm.
reuniting. Talk about working on this film.
It was during COVID, so I remember wearing a mask. I mean, these are interesting things to think about how we worked during that time, being tested and not being together. Because when we make movies, you make families, which
Hmm.
is part of the loveliness of it. I'm still in touch with one or two people I met on that set who I didn't know before.
Hmm.
Um, but what about that movie? It was really great. I was in New York spending time, not knowing if anybody knew where I was. I wanted to be close during that time and take care of those I love. And I got a call from my New York agent that they were looking to see, was I in New York, LA? Where was I? I was the director, Nicole Payon, and we hadn't seen each other in about 15 years or more. We had She had seen me in plays over the years in New York. We started together in acting class, and she's a great talent. And how nice of her to think of me and remember me out of the blue. So that was fun. I remember I happened to be where I'm sitting right now when we did the Zoom table read.
Hmm.
Oh, what a cast. And I just came from, I was actually I had a meeting before this. So I do have pants on, but I actually did not have pants on it during the table read, I remember. And then suddenly Joe Manganiello comes on my screen and I was like, oh, I don't have pants on. So it was fun. Those are, fun stories to remember. It shot in New Jersey. You mentioned you visit before we were chatting. There's
Yeah.
a lot of filming going on there now. Good tax incentives and building of studios there. Um, I do remember uh, a lot of my things are not, sometimes your stuff gets left on, the expression is on the edit floor, but I
Hmm.
do remember a lot of what I did with opposite Uma. It's very quick, I think, in the movie, the way it's been edited. But we had some things and I did it straight to camera, not with her, because
Hmm.
people didn't want to. It's really nice when you have the other actor but we did other things together, but as much as possible we tried to protect ourselves.
It's funny during that time because when I was at Frightmare in the Falls, I got to meet a filmmaker named James Balsamo. And I bring this up because it was like I appear in 9 of his movies, but I've never personally
Cool.
met him.
Wow. Wow.
Well, he was on my show and he asked me to shoot my own death scene for one of his movies, and I was like, it was like 4 in
How
the
do you do
morning,
that?
and I was
Hmm.
I was on my break from cleaning, and so I shot it. I figured out what I was going to do and shot it as simply and easily as I could. And I appear in 9 of his movies. And you mentioned being on screen talking to another person. Um, One of his movies, I'm being watched on a television by Eric Roberts. And I said to James, I said, if I ever meet Eric, I'm going to ask him how much he enjoyed working with me.
I bet he really enjoyed it.
I bet I was the easiest person for him to work with. Oh, it was funny, you know.
Another guy who's in so many movies. He's got a resume that never ends.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
great.
he was, yeah. I'd love to get him on here, you know. I've heard great things about him, but if I ever meet him at one of these conventions, I'm going to ask him that. So, yeah, how was it like working with me? Well, that was funny. I was honored to do it, you know, but I'm not an actor, but James, it doesn't matter. He's a very low budget filmmaker. He's like,
Mhm. It's fun.
yeah, I had no issue.
Well,
Was
I come from a school of training and I've studied for years and years and years and I've taught for many, many years and I believe in the craft, but you don't have to do it that way as long as you're believable and comfortable and, you know,
I know,
get it right. You
I
don't
know
have to
there's
study for years. Some people are natural and learn on the job.
I know there's at least one of those cameo appearances in one of his films. I brought Skittles in on, you know, and Skittles like, leave me out of this. Leave me out of this. Let's talk about Strange Darlings now. Wow.
Let's. What a great
Yes.
movie, huh?
Well, yes.
What a
Wow.
great movie and what a phenomenal filmmaker JT Molnar is.
Yep.
The success could not happen to a nicer guy.
I should reach out and see if I can get him to come on here and talk about this. But yeah, what a film. And of course, that was very I heard that talked about a lot when it came out too. So
Yeah, it did so well. A lot of people were talking about it. Again, I'm not on Twitter, but I would look because JT is rather active on it and I'd like to see what he was saying. And I noticed that whole universe and Kyle was on it, so I would see what a lot of people were saying about it. So I was looking at the X, sorry, it's X. I'm calling it Twitter. I'm showing my ignorance. Um, but it won the Saturn Award, so that's pretty exciting.
I like it. Your character's name is Libby.
I did too. I did too. He told me the night before we shot, he wrote the part for me. So I was so flattered. It was another instance that a lot of the work I worked for a week on that. There was a lot, but you edit things and it can be different than some of your things are not there, which no complaints whatsoever because doing the work is the fun part. But there was another film that I was supposed to do of his that was set to shoot in Mexico. And he had mentioned, and then COVID started and that didn't happen. And I guess he pivoted and how nice that he thought of me. And we had a long talk again about preparation, who this character is compared to the rest of the movie. You might not have that much time now to understand it, but she was, well, I don't want to mess it up for anyone who hasn't seen it, but she was supposed to be the angelic character. And
Well,
I
look
won't
at
say anything else in case somebody, because it's really a movie you need to experience knowing nothing, I think.
Mhm.
But
Well,
also beautifully shot by Giovanni Ribisi, the actor. He's a terrific cinematographer. And just the colors that movie made, and that was a different experience also. We shot in Oregon.
of course, Giovanni, he's also an actor, so
He's a
it was
phenomenal actor.
and to
Yeah,
see
it's
him,
terrific.
we could see this. other talent that he can do. I love that he was able to bring that forth. I wonder if this was something that he's wanted to do for a long time, because often you see him on the screen, but here he gets like, it's almost like
Uh,
I don't want to speak for him, but it's like, I wanted to take this out of the trunk and present this. This is something else I can do.
he sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautifully shot film.
Well, whether he was able to get you in something because COVID may have prevented it, how cool was it that he got you in this film?
Oh yeah, I hope he makes that other film, and because I like that too. I love that other script.
Oh, he
Yes,
has
so
made it.
cool. It was so cool, and it's so kind of someone. I mean, I'm mentioning two films that you bring up, and there are two people who have known me and liked my work, and it doesn't happen a lot. Us actors, we struggle to get work. Everyone does.
Hmm.
And it's a little embarrassing the last couple of movies I've done. People just offer them to me, and how nice is that? So it was very, yeah.
Now, I know you've done a lot of television. Now, my TV is set up to watch my Blu-rays, so I don't really watch television per se, not since I was living with my folks. So, but you've got a lot of TV credits. Pick two or three that really stand out to you that
Well,
were,
I hope I have a lot more, and there's a lot more to come because I wouldn't consider it a lot. So thank you
yeah.
for being so gracious. When you mentioned it, the easiest job I was just saying not auditioning, but I now I'm thinking the easiest audition I ever had. They're not usually easy. The Social Network, like I said, was a 4.5 month process, and that is quite a story how that went. Um,
Uh-huh.
uh, Lorraine Mayfield, the casting director, even said it's a real Hollywood story. Uh, but the easiest job was John Levy, the casting director of Shameless. He had
Yeah.
cast so many other great things, and I'm not wasn't always in the same place. Once or twice he called, and I wasn't in town to come in. Now you don't have to be in town. Um, and I saw him I was in a play reading, and he was there. I said, "Don't forget, try me again." And so Shameless, I remember going in on a Friday at 3, and by 5 I had the job. I went right to producers. Usually they decide who's coming in, and there's work and auditions and then producers. And so that was a nice one. And I enjoyed that very, very much. I like that show. It's fun to get on a show that you actually watch. And that was oh gosh, I remember I was tired that morning. Nobody wears any makeup. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I know what confused me because you've done a lot of short films. I guess I was conflicting that with
Yeah, and I've
TV.
done some television movies.
Hmm.
I've done
Citizen Jane,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I worked with a director who helped me when I got to Los Angeles. I built some of my resume on some of these Hallmark and Lifetime movies. The director Armand Mastriani hired me once and then continued to put me in some of those. One of them, in fact, called Pandemic. I think it was either Hallmark or kind of like Hallmark Channel. They owned a plane, so they made a lot of movies that would surround the plane in their studio. But it was
Mhm.
called Pandemic, and during the pandemic, I got a couple of residuals for that movie.
There you go. There you go. And you did Puppet with Rebecca Gayheart as well.
Yes, that was my first film.
What was it
I
like?
got right into the union with that one.
What was it like doing your first film?
Oh my gosh, it was so fun and so crazy. And I think about it now. I've died in a number of films now that I think about. Oops, oops, oops. I'm not going to say which ones, but in a few different ways. I've been poisoned. Well, in that movie, I can say it. That's a long time ago. I was riddled with machine gun bullets, and I remember the person who the armor or the stunt, person who helps you. He's now like number one in the industry. I love when I see his name, but I learned how to get riddled with machine gun bullets. How awful. But that was very fun. It was a lot of people's first movies. It was my first movie. It was the first movie of Oh my gosh, Artie Lang, the comic.
Howard
Trying to think
Stern
of
show, yeah.
Jim Gaffigan is in that movie, and it was his first movie. I'll stop at that, but I'm reminding myself now of that as well. So for me, I remember the first day, and I was so prepared, and my acting teacher, Carol Goodhart, protege of Uta Hagen, was like, get Michael Caine's uh, acting on film and watch it. You didn't get to just look at it on your phone. I had to actually get it because she thought it was like too soon, but it wasn't. You learn a lot more. But I had been studying and working and doing plays, and this is my first movie. And I remember getting out of the car, and I had to get my gun to go into a building. And first I dropped, that was the second thing. I dropped the gun. But the first time I got out of the car, I heard the director call action, roll sound, camera action. And I didn't walk. I didn't realize that that word was for me. I learned very fast. So I remember, you want to do things fast. You don't want to waste time. Time is money. Everyone's on a budget. And we started again. So that was my first experience on the first day was one, missing my call of action. And two, the next take, walking into the building and dropping my gun. So I don't think they used that take, even though I was a young FBI agent, but it was fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
You mentioned comedy. What are some of your favorite comedies? 'Cause you mentioned you love comedy.
Oh, just I want to laugh. Oh, I don't know. Now I'm thinking, I was talking to somebody asked me the other day, a similar situation to this. What's your favorite movie? Like, it's so hard for me to pick a favorite for anything because my list would be so long. But right now, the first thing that comes to mind is The Hangover.
Oh, I saw that more than once in the theater, and I had
It
the
just
woman
came.
that the desk clerk in Caesar's Palace. I had her on the show here.
Oh, I don't know why that just popped. Because one scene, just I have a very it sometimes could be troubling. I just see things, but a lot of people, whether you're visual or oral, but I just see the scenes. But yeah, nothing better than getting a laugh. I have when I say we do all different kinds of movies, there's a film I'm going to see the first time there's a screening for it next week that I shot in Alabama. They turned it around very quickly, all and a very low budget film. But I think I'm going to get the best laugh in the movie, and I'm so excited.
Well,
And it's
I'm
not,
go-
and it's not a comedy. It's
oh,
not
it's
a.
not comedy.
It's called Sheepwell, and it's not a comedy. But I will have a laugh. I promise you, there will be a laugh in the movie, and it will be mine.
There you go. Do you have any charities you're involved in?
Good question. Yeah. Why do you ask? I think
Well, the reason why I'm asking, and I've done this with a number of my guests, but you bring up the fact you like comedy, so I'm going to pitch something to you because I do something where I'll donate to the charity of your choice and return do a remember the ice bucket challenge?
yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
After that happened, one came out after the passing of Robin Williams, and it was for suicide and depression awareness, and it was called the Doubtfire Face Challenge. And it's where you take a pie in the face and you
Oh my goodness.
nominate three people. And I've had a number of takers on that, and I would donate to the charity of their choice if they did a video of them doing the pie challenge.
Oh, is that what you're asking me to do? I'd rather make a donation.
No, 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 do the challenge. I'm going to tell you
Take
a
a
little,
pie in the face. Who's going to
I'm
throw
going
the
to,
pie?
whoever you wanted. I'll tell you a
Well,
story.
we'll talk about it offline. We'll have to figure it out.
I'll tell you a little story about it. Sandy Johnson, who was in the movie Halloween, I donated to Tunnels for Towers. That was their charity of choice. her husband was dressed up as Michael Myers and he put the pie in her face, but she posted it during COVID. And the response to it was all positive. Like people were like, because she posted there to give people something to lighten
Hmm.
up and have a good laugh at. And she said that that's why she put it on there. And people were like, man, I needed to see this, this made my day or whatever, And so
Okay, we'll
I
talk about it.
yeah, it's up to you, and there's no pressure, And I've had people decline it, and I don't hold it against them. But you mentioned that you were into humor and stuff like that, so I thought I would throw
Yeah.
that out. Normally, I don't unless I get that vibe. So, but yeah. So, you got any upcoming projects that you're allowed to promote on here?
Well, the one I just mentioned, I should talk about because
Go
it's
for it.
impressive to me. It's a young group of women out of AFI and Columbia. The team, it's called Sheepwell. It's
Hmm.
terrific, terrific script. I know they just finished it up rather quickly so they could submit to Sundance. Well, it'll be
There you
nice
go.
if it gets in there, and I'll see it on the screen on next Tuesday, I think it is. That's the first time we'll get to see it. Um, it's a great story, great cast. I get to one of the dreams is if you get to work with your friend. I work with my bestie on it. She Nicole Brianna White, and she carries that whole movie. Small cast. Like I said, we shot in Alabama, and it's really a great script. And naked guy going down the highway, and this woman and her daughter let him in, and whatever ensues from there.
You kind of, speaking of humor, reminds me of old school.
No, it's actually a thriller. It's a feminist thriller. If I were to categorize it, I don't use those terms a lot, but I think they sell it as a feminist thriller.
So it's
So
not
yeah,
well, it's not well.
I think it might be up your alley. I'm getting Halloween, Strange Darling. There's definitely some thrill and surprise and tough stuff in there too.
So it's not like Will Ferrell streaking down the street.
No, no, it's very different. And I play a Southern sergeant in this one, and I did not drop my gun.
Well, you can't drop your gun all the time.
Once you learn from your mistakes.
And it
But
wasn't one of those ones where you drop the gun. Of course, you see all these movies where they drop their gun and it keeps going off, going down the
no,
street.
yeah,
You don't
no,
want that. You
we're a
don't
lot.
want that.
Yeah, no, there's safety. And so yes, and I'm working on some other projects I produce, and I've got a couple of projects that I'm working on. We'll see where they go. Everybody's got their the things that they want to get done. So I'm in the same position.
How often in the movies are you in the makeup chair? Like you mentioned, you get littered with bullets and stuff like that. And I've seen um, stuff where people hook you up with these squibs and stuff like that.
Yes, I did take a lot of photographs during Strange Darling, and I have not shared them because initially you're not supposed to probably be okay to do it now. They're fantastic. So much of that special effects makeup in that movie, also done by Vincent, was just great. He's done some of the greatest films. They brought him out to Oregon too. So yes, I was there a lot. There were a lot of you squibbed. Um, this time, three times, you have duplicates of your clothing, and they had a washer and a dryer on set also because you've got to do things. Again, you want to get it the first time, but you might have to do it again and again, and a lot. And that was a very much more of a scene. I don't want to give anything away than is in there. If you remember Kyle, the lead actor's demise, mine was quite similar, so it was a lot, but you can't, when you look at it afterwards, you can't have it first and then again. So you edit it differently. So the answer to that is I was in that chair a lot for that reason.
You know,
Um,
You know what it reminds me of? You mentioned the washing machine on set. It reminds me of a story I heard about Saturday Night Fever that they
My
had.
fun, that's one of my favorite movies.
It's
If I
one of
had to
my
pick,
favorite
I
too.
forgot. Thank you for reminding me. And the soundtrack, and I love, love, love that movie.
It's
Not
one of
only
my
because I
favorites
was born,
too.
I didn't see it, not just because I was born in Brooklyn, but I love the movie.
Well, one of the stories I heard that they had, I think, a couple of those white suits, and they said that Travolta got so sweaty and whatnot, they would have to like dry clean it and whatnot, and they'd have an
Sure,
extra one on. And you reminded me of that whenever you mentioned the washing
sure.
machine.
Yes, yes. And I have another little tidbit I didn't know before. Blood, it depends how you make it for a film, and you can really tell different ingredients and what's good blood and bad blood. I've learned a lot about that recent of late, but it's
Hmm.
very hard to get out and off, and I had it everywhere. But one of the things I never knew, shaving cream. So if there are any other actors or people out there, I never knew shaving cream is very helpful in cleaning it off your skin.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. I learned it on Strange Darling.
Wow.
So there's a little trick I learned.
Did it work in your hair?
Yeah, yeah, but I mean it was, oh my goodness, I had doubles and triples of undergarments and but yeah, it was in every crevice. It was quite a scene. It's
So
like
they
I said, you watch the movie and it's like that, but it was a lot to it.
So they didn't use the this kind of stuff they did on Sissy Spacek and Carrie. I think it was what was it? What's corn syrup or something? They said they used and they dyed it or something. I don't remember the
Yeah, I
story.
don't know, but there it's like a scientific project, and is it good enough? Is it not good? It's interesting. I should pay more attention next time. I hope there'll be a
I
next.
didn't realize shaving cream,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it worked.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Now, when you say you use shaving cream on it, like is it one of those things where you had to like brush it onto the clothes or whatever, or just
Oh, I wasn't responsible for the clothes. Was not my body everywhere on my body underneath the
oh,
clothing. It was just it was everywhere. So it was a, intense movie.
so you had to shower with shaving cream.
I in my trailer, where there were different areas that using that and wiping it with towels was more helpful than just soap and water, or it wasn't coming off.
Well, jeepers, I learned something today. I had no idea.
I'm glad I could offer you something.
Okay, okay. All right. I'll know what to use them. Not that I bleed a lot, but
No, no, I wouldn't put shaving cream on if you have a cut on your finger. If for
no.
someone who's in a movie, I'm saying to wash it.
Darn.
No, if you have a cut on your finger, be careful. Use the real stuff. Use some alcohol and take care of yourself. No, no, I'm talking about the fake blood.
I was thinking, I if I had an accident.
No,
Actually,
bite,
I'm
bite your
joking with
tongue.
you, but
No accident. No accident.
I'm joking with you, but still, I never knew that before. Nobody's ever mentioned that. So, wow.
I didn't know it before then either. So now why keep it to myself?
There you go. I wonder who else does that. But like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, and that's the first time I ever heard that. So, yeah. Well, Denise, it was wonderful having you come on here today and talk about this film. 15 years.
No, thank you,
15
Greg.
years.
It's fun reminiscing and thinking about it. Yeah. Thank you for
Well,
asking.
well, you know what? One night I was watching the film and I was like, and I remember when this was when I reached out to you first time, I was like, I wanted to get somebody on from this film to celebrate it. And I remember it was getting to those scenes. I was like, who's the pretty blonde?
Well, if that's what it took and that's what you think, again, many thanks.
And then I discover you in other movies, so there you go.
All
Like,
right. Well,
yeah,
hopefully more to come.
more to come. Well, you know what? It was wonderful having you come on here today and talk about this movie. And it's like what Olivia Newton-John said about Grease, if you only even if you only have one uh, film to your credit, to have something this fantastic is great. And of course,
Very lucky. Very
well,
lucky.
you got Strange Darling and Kill Room, and you were in Shameless, so
Yeah.
you've done well. You've done well.
Well, hard, got to be ready and prepared, and like many of us, and so many people are good at what they do, so you have to have all that. But there's a little bit of luck to be in the right place or in someone's mind, or but anything and everything is possible.
Have you attended any screenings of this year? Has there been any screenings?
This year there was something at the Academy. Was it last year? I don't remember. They're not of late, but I there was something. I mean, I know there was 10 years ago, but no. If you hear one, let me know. It'd be delightful to see it on a big screen again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Sure. Tell me what to do.
Just state your name and mention that we're celebrating 15 years of the social network and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
Okie doke.
Go for
This
it.
is Denise Grayson. I'm with Greg Gilbert of Python's Paradise. Yes? Okay,
Absolutely.
okay, let's do it again. You want to get
Go
your
for it.
words right.
Go for
This
it.
is
Go for it.
this is Denise Grayson, and I'm with Greg Gilbert of Python's Paradise, and we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of the social network. Thank you, Greg, for having me. Good luck with your show. Be well. It was fun.
You know what? I look forward to seeing more of you too. Hopefully, you get to do more comedy since you mentioned
Yeah.
that was one thing I never when somebody mentioned you're funny, and because you're known for some of these darker films.
Yeah, it's okay now if I get to, it's fun to play these tough guys. That's all right. You just as an artist anywhere you just want to work, so it's all interesting and it's all challenging. So yes, I comedy is terrific, but
Comedy is terrific.
just work is one of the great things, so it's nice.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for allowing me the honor. It's a privilege,
Fine.
and absolutely.
Thank you for
Yeah,
asking. Good to meet you.
absolutely. It's great to meet you too. God bless you. Ah, I forgot one more question. What's the most unique thing you've ever been asked to sign?
Meet a bowling pin.
You've signed a bowling pin.
Yeah, maybe a bowling pin.
It's funny, because I asked this of all my guests, and I'm like, I don't know why I'll almost blanked me before we signed up, but hopefully maybe they can. I don't know if you get to do the conventions, but they should get you at some of these
Yeah.
the autograph conventions. You'd think Social Network would be a catch for something like that.
Yeah, maybe one day when I'm old and I've done more movies and the social network is older. But yeah, it may 15 years is a long time.
15, yeah, you haven't aged any.
Well, very kind of you. Thank you.
I know I've aged because I get
Oh,
gray all over.
I have, but I thank you for that.
Absolutely. Okay, with that out of the way, you have yourself a wonderful day, and
You do the same.
absolutely, absolutely. God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care.
Bye
Bye, Greg.
bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.